Hi there, Jonathan, back with you once again, and today I'm going to talk about Facebook ads and some new campaigns, and also a monumental screw up that I've just done, which I'm still trying to get over, but I'm going to talk you through that in a minute, all to do with Facebook. Can't believe I've done that. But actually also what I want to talk about is really what tests I was going to do in March. You know, the previous videos we had a look at what we'd done in February, some of the things that worked. But now it's time to move on and let's see if we can really try and open these profit numbers over the next coming months. So just as usual, what happened yesterday was about $700 in sales. I did the calculations, came in at about $170 in profit. So yeah, quite fine margins on that, not great. But okay, let me talk about this first and then I'll come on to how I managed to really screw up. So ideas for March, some things that I can put in that's either going to help me reduce cost per acquisition, increase average order value, or increase lifetime value. So ideas I've got so far running around, and then it's just a case of prioritizing, deciding which to do first, because I probably need to do all three this month. The first thing was to split test this in-course upsell price to $67. Currently it's at $47, ran through February at that, so I've got some conversion rate data. So now you know, an obvious thing is say, oh well, can I put the price up to 67? Will it actually damage the conversion rates, and to what extent? So that's quite a relatively simple test to do. The second thing I could do is expand my autoresponder sequence. The plan was to have a 60-day automation sequence from people who bought the product to make sure they get to use it and enjoy it, and then I can make them further offers. Now currently that autoresponder runs for 30 days. I really probably need to expand it to 60 days. So that's definitely something on my to-do list. And the third thing, which really I just only came up with sort of yesterday, was although you know the funnel is working and working consistently, we're struggling with getting the profit margin to where it wants to be. So sometimes I just have to go take a step right the way back to the beginning and going, actually, you know, the current offer and proposition is good, but maybe it could be better. And maybe it's time for me to have a think about a slightly different offer proposition or a different hook to potentially get people into the course. Because I think, you know, everybody's got a different reason why they want the course. And so it's a question of really trying to play around with some different ideas. So I have one specific idea that I've been knocking around for the last 24 hours. And that is really to focus on what people get from it. You know, trying to have a hook and proposition that clearly states what the real benefit side of it is and what they're going to get out of it. And so I came up with this new updated sort of or new proposition to test, which is basically about 15 minutes of fame. So the idea being here, you can learn any one of these guitar riffs in 15 minutes, and obviously the subheading to it is 42 famous riffs made ridiculously simple. So it's trying to be very clear about the proposition and what offer I'm making to the audience. Now, I've got no idea whether that's going to be interesting or compelling to it. So the easiest way for me to test it is to really just start at go back to the Facebook ads level and potentially just take some of my ads that are currently working and swap out the headline or duplicate the ad and put in an alternative headline that is focused on this. And let's have a look at really, is that driving a greater click-through rate? Now, that's what I'm really focused on. I'm not really focused on does it convert yet. I'm more interested in does it actually drive a higher click-through rate? Because if it drives a higher click-through rate, then maybe I'm going to carry this same messaging through to the landing page, maybe through to the product description, all the way through the funnel. But first and foremost, I need to know, is that an interesting hook for my audience. So with that in mind, I thought, okay, I need to set up some new ads. And this is where I made a monumental mistake, which is quite surprising. I've been running Facebook ads for about 6 years. I've never done anything quite as stupid as what I've just done about 10 minutes ago. Right, let me talk you through it. So normally what we do with my campaign when I'm looking to test new ad creatives, here we are at the campaign level, and under the campaign level then I've got my ad sets and then I've got my ads. So the normal convention is you take the existing ad set that's working well, that's got all the data behind it. What we do is then duplicate that ad set, then add the new creative into the new duplicated set. And what we do is we run both sets in parallel for a little while until we know that the new ad set is getting results at the same sort of level. And once we see that it's the algorithm switched into it and it's all working okay, then we turn off the first ad set. So it's a way of getting continuity into the campaign and keeping the momentum. Anyway, what I managed to do while I was faffing around in the ads level, I thought I'll try and clean up some of the old ad sets, because I had about 10 or 15 ad sets here, and I went around and then accidentally deleted them. And I also managed to delete my current ad set, which is quite staggering when I think about it. So all I've got now is the new ad set that I've just created. And yeah, it's really messed everything up, because now this new ad set has got to go through the learning phase. So as it says here, we've got 0 purchases in this new ad set. So it's got to get up to 50 during this coming week. So yeah, which means all my costs are going to go out the window, and it's going to take time to come back in. Now what I'm hoping is that it's got enough data at the campaign level such that it won't have problems zeroing in on the audience, and that's a big fingers crossed, because I've got absolutely no idea. But the upshot is, as I say, it's a piece of real stupidity and blindness. I think the problem is I'm working on a quite a big complex sort of AI project at the moment, and I think that sort of scrambled my brains a bit. Well, that's my excuse, but we will see how things recover. You know, and that's the whole point of this journey. You know, it's watching me do some things that work and do some things that definitely don't work on, and mistakes and things to avoid. And this is definitely a big thing to avoid. So all we can do is keep our fingers crossed. And let me just show you. These ads are even just processing. Oh, it's so embarrassing. Oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, so this is where my 15 minutes of fame comes into play. So as you can say, you see, all I'm doing is just testing this 15 minutes of fame angle and see whether it drives a higher click-through rate than the one based on the original headline. But so I will look forward to giving you updates on this and the how things are going to pan out. I've got no idea, but I'm somewhat fearful that it's going to be a bit messy, certainly for the next week or so. You see, at the campaign level, it has still recorded yesterday's purchases. So I'm hoping that I haven't completely trashed everything, just partially. Anyway, that's all for today, and I'll catch up tomorrow, hopefully with some half decent or maybe even good news. Okay, see you soon. Bye for now.